Hi everyone! Welcome back to another Window Chats with Robyn. Today we have Robert, which should be very exciting. We might even see whose hair has grown the longest during the pandemic. And I actually think Robert's might be longer than mine. I haven't seen him in a while, so time will tell. I'm excited today, and I hope everyone's enjoyed the lovely weather. Well, I'm in Toronto, so I don't know how the weather is elsewhere, but it's so nice outside, and then it's gonna snow again, and then it's gonna be a whole thing. But for now, I love the weather, trying to take in the sun. Can't you tell I'm very tan now, very zen. And oh God, now I have to ramble until Robert gets on, and this is the time when I struggle. I do struggle chatting with myself, discussing the weather. This is the small talk I make with myself and my viewers. So, the weather, oh good, Robert's here. Okay, whew, that was a struggle. I was not comfortable. Let's invite him to join, da da da. And here we go, it's happening, I think. Clicked on it. Maybe. Wait for it. Hopefully. This is so dramatic. Yes!
I was just debating, kind of waiting around to see how long you could go on for.
Oh, like, please join.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you? Your hair is long, huh? It's very different.
It is so long, and I think I'm gonna have to cut it soon. But
see, it's so funny. I said I haven't seen it in a while. I'm like, oh wait, no, I totally helped you with the self-tape. You were great.
Yeah,
like I did see. I just days are confusing for me at this point in time. But yes, you have a very fancy shirt on. Look at you.
Yeah, I thought like if what I was saying wasn't interesting enough, like the shirt would kind of do the rest for me. So I just thought I'd wear a funky shirt.
I appreciate that. I would have coordinated. I don't have anything like that, but see, this is why we have the meetings. I got to find a funky shirt. So there you go.
At least we still have like a blue mutual background.
We do. We do. Your lighting's not bad. I struggle with my lighting on Instagram Live. The sun comes in, my face goes pale. It's a whole thing.
That's the key is you actually have to not turn off the curtains. You need to close the curtains and then have the light on. Because otherwise you get like a weird light coming from one side. So unless you're directly in front of your window. But
honestly, I like to do the one-sided face. It makes it more mysterious. That is what I'm justifying as some very bad previous window chats where it's like, what does the other side of her face look like? Mystery. It's intrigue. But yes,
thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thanks for being here. I was like, I don't know, will Robert do this? Am I cool? Is this, because anyone that's younger than me, I'm like, am I still cool? Do you want to hang out with the older people on these things?
I love that you consider yourself an older person relative to me because I never look at you that way. No, this is definitely cool, and I love that you're doing this. It seems like you've already had like a lot of really cool people on, so I don't know. I'm just happy to talk with you and see wherever this goes, I guess.
Well, I mean, we have to discuss everything that you do because you do everything. I'm looking at your IMDb. I've watched your stuff. I'm like, okay, so you write your own stuff, you direct, you're producing, you're in it. You keep pushing. You did that Isolation film that made the film festival. Nicely done. You did those. What was that other one with Hannah? I really liked that one.
Oh yeah, News. Yeah, and that was cool. Like, it wasn't even intended to be a short. It was just more of like a demo reel scene, and then I guess it kind of got marketed as a short just to our advantage. But it worked out. Yeah, that was a cool thing.
So you just decided, hey, I'm going to write this for, whose demo was it, for Hannah?
Well, it was my buddy Karn Kalra, and I don't know if you met him, but he was the lead actor in that, like the guy. And he was just like, look, man, I need a dramatic scene for my demo reel, so can you write something? So I wrote it, and then he's like, well, let's make this as good as possible. So we got, a cinematographer to come in, and that was really it. It was just a director, like myself and the cinematographer, and then the two actors. And we just kind of shot it all in one day. But he's such a good editor, and he has a friend who's a colorer. So it made everything look really, really nice and professional, even though it was quite a low budget. So kind of worked out.
So you just have a cinematographer friend as well? That's how it worked? Or
well, this was his friend. So he actually owns his own company. Like he does videos for different companies and film makes. He did like wedding videos to start, and now he does promotional videos and stuff for companies. So yeah, he knew like a lot of people, and his network was pretty good. So I guess he just got a friend who could come in and was willing to shoot that evening, and that's how it happened. The only thing he had to rent, I think, was the equipment. So that's like the biggest part of the budget, I guess.
But that's what everyone, all the that's what they're saying to do. And you're like, yeah, so we did it, whatever. It was like super chill. Now he has an amazing demo reel because I wrote something and it's there.
Exactly. Actually, funny enough, I still don't think he put a demo reel together, which is hilarious. But I think he has sent that off to various people, like in place of a demo reel. He's like, here's something I did recently. Check it out. Yeah.
Look at that. People helping people. Huh. That's inspiring.
It's mutually beneficial, you know?
I mean, I admire that though. What was the other thing? I love that thing. You did it with Thomas and oh my gosh, who else was in it that I knew? It was in the boxing ring. It was so funny.
Thank you so much. The Ultimate Showdown. Yeah, that was for our YouTube channel. And then it also kind of just blew out of proportion and became like its own full-on short film. That's probably the biggest project I've worked on today. So that was really fun.
Did you write that one as well, or?
Yeah, we co-wrote it. So Thomas and I wrote it and created it with the third actor in that. His name's Cortion. He's a friend of ours we met from a previous show we worked on together. And we ended up coming up with this idea. It was like, what would be an interesting thing that you don't really see between actors? And then we came up with this idea of like some sort of rap battle and doing that because Cortion rapped. And we're like, well, how can we do a twist to it? So then we decided to do an act battle. And then an act battle turned into this whole like boxing ring, how we got to that point.
Did you just get a phone call and is that why you cut out?
No, it was my phone warning me I'm at 20%, but I'm charging, so I don't know what's going on.
Oh God! Oh no! Talk fast. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think we should be good.
No, okay. When this happened on Facebook, I attempted a Facebook Live. When it happened and someone was at 20%, I didn't know on Facebook Live that the video would cut out and never return. So there's literally 20 minutes of me talking to her headshot. It's very entertaining.
No, that's awful.
So if anyone is not seeing Robert, please put that down there. I still see you. I really hope I can see.
Okay, good. As long as you guys can still see me, then we're good. There's no just like black box.
Instagram. I hope not. Again, I talk to myself quite a bit, but I think people can still see you. Otherwise, it would have been mentioned down there. So that's good. At least we know the difference between Instagram and Facebook. Oh, God, that was so funny. Oh, my gosh. Technology. Am I right?
Yeah,
back in my day.
Back with this old thing. It's so...
Look, the old grandmother in me, okay? It's like, oh, thank you, Mike. My husband is on the ball, okay? We're good. He sees us.
He's like your technical expert here in the audience. That's good. Okay.
There was one time when the audio completely got out of sync, just started not working at all. And I kept talking as I do. And so he has the little paper sign saying like, not working, stop it. I'm like, okay, thank you. Because he can't, I turned my notification. Oh, I know. He's the best. I am very lucky. Nice. Shout out to my hubby. You're a good guy. That's all. Okay. Spread the love everywhere. All
Thanks,
that jazz.
Mike.
Yay! Oh, and now see, doesn't he feel special getting a shout out? Now it's his day.
Well deserved.
But yes, I digress. It's do you live with anyone now during the pandemic? Is that?
I'm living back home. So
okay.
I used to be living with my nonna, which is grandmother in Italian. I was living with my nonna for like 3 years since my last year of university, and then in August. When I started working again and I didn't want to be going out, in public and coming back home to her because it was just dangerous, I moved back home with my fam. So I'm back in Richmond Hill right now.
Class. Richmond Hill. I mean, look, Richmond Hill is not what it used to be. It is, I went to school back in the day in Richmond Hill before anything was built around there. And it's like, where am I going to school? And now it's a whole, everything's developed. It has their own section, unless you're not, It's cool. It's a cool place to be. It's where all the cool kids are, so.
Crazy enough, I remember like when we moved into this house, like we got it built, and then literally across from our street was just a giant mountain of dirt. So like I still remember as a kid, we would like go tobogganing on just like this mountain of dirt. And now there's like 2 schools that were developed, a parking lot, full neighborhood, like on the other side of our street. But before, we were like the cutoff point, which is hilarious. Like it was literally just a pile of dirt. So I totally can relate to that firsthand. It's been developing very quickly.
I'm not good with change. I'm not ready for it. I'm like, no, I like the fields. You paved paradise and put up a parking lot. That's a song. So that's how I feel about change. But I should get used to it because I guess it's for the better in a sense. I
It
don't
can
know.
be good. Like you going on to TikTok was a change.
Oh my
And now
God.
you're
Thank you
more-
for segueing to TikTok. Dear God. This was the conversation. I have to let everyone know. You're because oh yes, we never did that sketch. That's why we were talking.
Oh my God, the
That's
cop
so
sketch.
funny.
We should do it live.
We should. Oh, I don't even remember the wording, but oh, that's so funny. Yes, we were talking. How should we do this sketch together? And you pitched, try out TikTok. I'm like, what is this TikTok? I've heard
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
I don't understand it. I still don't, clearly, from my TikToks. But I love watching yours because they're very clever and funny and they're faster paced. So I'm never like, oh, I'm bored, I'm going to change. I'm like, oh, I'm always engaged. I enjoy watching yours. They're very
Thank,
well done. But
thank you.
describing
I
it to
appreciate
me was very confusing. And when I post things, I don't know if you struggle with this on TikTok. I post things, then I realize, oh no, I forgot to do this. I want to change it, but you can't because it's already out there and you can't edit. I'm like, ugh, ah.
that is the crappiest thing right now. And there have been a lot of creators like urging TikTok to allow changing of captions, hashtags, going back to edit even like captions like within the video. But they haven't seemed to agree or implement any of those changes. But I think the toughest thing is because it all relies on this algorithm TikTok has, and if it's using hashtags and captions and the video sound all as like factors within this algorithm, if it changes, it kind of screws up who it's being put out to and who's seen it and whatnot. So I get that. It's annoying. I have had to delete a video and then re-upload with the change. You just got to do it quick. Otherwise, it sucks when like so many people have seen it and you're like, well, now I need to repost it and all that. You're gonna have to see it again. I apologize.
That's the benefit of having very little followers. See, there you go. Stick with me, kid.
Yeah.
Because I have a whole day to repost. I'm like, do I still like it? I don't know. Maybe I'll make it tighter. Change my mind. We'll see what happens. But
That's
yes,
true. I mean, some people get thousands and thousands of views and still are like, no, I'm gonna take it back and re-upload. Either because they think it deserves better or because they just don't like it themselves and they want to change it. So that's fair. And I have thought about doing that on several posts. So I think it's just a matter of like deciding yourself if it's worth the work to go back and redo it or revamp it or whatever it is.
do you find with TikTok that the ones that you're the proudest of, no one cares for?
It's weird. Like I have like this love-hate relationship with TikTok where sometimes I'll put in a ton of work into something and I'll be like, this is the one that people will like. And no one likes it. Or like the algorithm decides not to push it out to people. And that can be super frustrating. But then there's other times where like I like literally do a one take of me talking about something and then that one seems to do really well. And it's kind of frustrating because it's not like the hard work equals the payoff in this case. And that's just something you have to accept though with the way the algorithm works, because in some ways that benefits people, right? You can have no followers, but you can post a video and it can still go viral. Vice versa, you can have hundreds of thousands of followers, post a video, and it not go out to like even a quarter of those people. So it can have its disadvantages, but I think it's just a matter of learning how to cater your content to either work for the algorithm, which sounds terrible, or you just make sure whatever you're putting out is you're proud of. So whether it does well or not, you're still happy to have it on your page,
I'm proudest of the
So,
least watched video. So yes, I am.
yeah, that's always the worst. What's your proudest, worstly engaged video?
The worstly engaged one, this is one that I thought was so funny, and now I still think it was kind of funny. It was like a New Year's resolution, and it was some kind of diet one. I'm like, my New Year's diet, and then it was just French toast with bananas, and I'm like, it's a health food, and I thought that was so funny. I still think it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think 4 people have watched it on Instagram Reels. I'm not even joking. It just there's like whatever, a couple hundred, and then it's just 4. Legitimately 4 people have watched it. I didn't know so little people. Like there's such a reach that no one gave.
But that to me is 2 different things. You have a video that either has poor engagement or a video that isn't getting the opportunity to be engaged with. You know what I mean? So especially on TikTok, that's accurate. But like, for example, you had 4 viewers. that means just no one's seen it. It's not like people are watching it and not liking it or
Oh,
commenting
I
it,
appreciate
or you know what I mean? There's a difference. So I think you have to look at it as like, interactions based on the people that have seen it.
I
That is really
appreciate
how to kind of rate the content, because you can't do anything about how many people are actually seeing it unless you literally send it out to all your friends. So that's not on you.
I think I'd lose a lot of friends. Robyn, this isn't funny. Stop sharing your videos. We are not laughing. This is a pity like. I'll heart it
All
because I
right.
know you.
You can always send me a video. I'll say that now.
You're
You
very
can
good with
always,
that.
yeah, I will let you always send me a video, and I will like it and comment on it for your sake.
Oh, thank you. Well, now I don't know if I still don't know if that's pity or not, but I accept any form of pity I can take. Yes, I don't know.
It's supposed to be support,
I
but I
mean,
guess if you want to look at
I'll
it
take
that
a
way.
pity cast, like I feel so bad for Robyn. She keeps auditioning. Maybe we should just book her. That's what I mean. I accept any
Oh,
kind of
I would
pity
take
in
a
that
pity
form.
cast too. I would gladly take a pity cast. I mean, I'm waiting for one of those at this point. Like, I've been auditioning for you for a while now, Miss Casting Director. Cast me in something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very okay with a one-liner. If you just feel bad and want to throw me in somewhere, do it. That's cool. I know I auditioned for a larger role, but I accept any role. Putting it out there in the universe. Oh, hey, Alexandra. I try to remember that people
Hey.
comment. I think I saw. Yeah. Hello. People that I realize I forget are watching us talk. This is fun. Isn't that fascinating though? This is what I find so fascinating. And this is why part of why I started it. There's so many reasons why I started this. But the fact that I love watching people talk about randomness. And I don't know if I would love watching those interviews, those comedians in cars
Oh
telling,
yeah.
well, yeah, I love that, getting coffee.
Yeah.
Even like there was this Vogue 73 question thing. And that's how I pitched this to a lot of people because I love just these random questions and these random stories that not everyone gets to share, right? It's always like a very structured and serious interview. And I don't know, those aren't really fun. So to me
No,
personally.
I agree with you. I think this is the first time I've ever been live on Instagram as well, which is kind of cool. I think. Yeah, so that's cool. And yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's nothing I love more than those, like I could sit down and watch hours of those actors on actors interviews on YouTube. It's like just two actors sitting down and literally chatting back and forth, no agenda, just kind of letting the conversation go wherever it goes. So I can totally see that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna look back at this chat and be like, remember we were just those two actors having a chat. People watched us.
Now look at us as people that have finally gotten cast by that casting director who's giving us a pity cast.
You've been doing okay though. You went to Newfoundland. I never pronounce it correctly.
Yeah, neither do I. I think they pronounce it Newfoundland, but I always say Newfoundland. So
Yeah, that's how they know you're not a local.
yeah,
But
exactly. That's very quickly how they're able to identify that. But yeah, no, I'm very fortunate. I was able to work a little bit last year in COVID. Like that was huge. So no, I'm very appreciative of that for sure.
and you had what was else? Can I say the project names because they're on your IMDb? I never know what I cannot disclose.
Yeah,
I think I
I don't
can.
think there's anything I've named that hasn't come out yet. Well, there's like one thing coming out later this year, but everything is public knowledge. There's nothing like
Okay.
there's no NDAs I've signed or anything like that.
Well, I mean that's good. I think I saw you were in Tall Boys, right? Am I mistaken?
No, I auditioned for Tall Boys. I didn't get it though.
Oh
No, it's a
darn
pretty
it!
hard.
What was the comedy thing? Oh, Pretty Hard Cases. Okay, I knew there was a
Yeah.
comedy. Well, I just wanted to rub that one in your face. You didn't get it, remember? And
I
then we move
know.
on from there and discuss the one you did get. Pretty Hard Cases, which weren't they called Lady Dicks at one point? Wasn't that the
They were
title?
called Lady Dicks for the longest time, up until like I think a few weeks, at least when I found it, a few weeks before the show actually came to air, it was changed to Pretty Hard Cases. But up until like literally, I think this January, I thought it was Lady Dicks. I mean that's what this show was called. So they just had a change of name after some discussions.
I mean, I thought it was a very funny name, but I guess Pretty Hard Cases works just as well. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it definitely is a funnier name, but I think they had some issues around. I don't know. There was some things brought up, some concerns brought up with the name, and they made the choice to change it.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I can see that. As we're saying it, I'm like, oh yes, I can think of a lot of controversialness with that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
maybe
know.
it was good they changed the name. That was a good call. Okay. Either way, how was your experience on that?
It was really fun. I mean, that was the first time I worked on like anything comedy related, like professionally. So I love comedy, and I do a lot of sketch stuff, but I never was able to take on a comedic role in a professional setting. So I felt like there was a lot of freedom that I never really had like on other projects. So I was able to go in there and play kind of like this greasy, obnoxious employee, and it felt really, really fun. And I got to work like it was the first time I was in a scene that someone almost made me laugh because it was funny. I'm like, oh, I would love to be in scenes where I almost break character because of how funny my scene partner is. So that was a really cool experience, and I would definitely want to do something like that again, I think.
How much improv was allowed in those kind of scenes? I'm always curious with comedy
Is there a big
sets.
delay or?
Oh, is there? Oh no. I'm not gonna. Oh no. Is it getting weird? We were doing okay. Instagram, why do you hate me? Robert is frozen for me. You froze in a good way for me though, personally. You have a smile. It's not terrible. You look friendly. I'm gonna still keep talking until I see your mouth move. Please come back, Robert. We miss you. I really want to know about the improv. Oh, oh,
Hello? Oh, am I
hi.
back? Okay, good. Thank God. Jeez, that was scary. Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you. I was worried to move. I don't know why my movement would affect the Instagram live feed, but I felt that it would. Okay. Can,
I feel that. I'm very aware of what's happening now. I think I should be fine. Like, I don't know what's going on, but my phone's plugged in. So as long as you can hear me fine now, I think we're good.
oh, are we zero battery? Are we really cutting it close? Is this turning into duh,
No, I
duh,
mean, I'm literally
duh, duh?
charging as we speak. So I can't even, I don't even know what's going on, but.
Oh man. This is the most intense beat the battery chat I've ever
Oh.
had. Okay, breathe. I also think
You
there's
good?
quite a delay, which is really fun. So you're going to be laughing at inappropriate times when I say things that might not
Improv
be
you're
funny.
asking about.
Oh, I was curious how much improv was allotted on that Pretty Hard Cases set.
Oh, not a lot. I mean, I'm sure there is for the two leads. Like they're both strong. They're both very strong comedic actors, and I feel like based on their interview, they did kind of play around with the script and the dialogue a bit. But being a day player, and I wasn't gonna try to do anything crazy. There was like maybe one or two lines I slipped in because I thought they were funny, and no one said anything, so I was like, cool, I'll keep doing it. But I did not try to overdo it. Like I added a line at the end, and then maybe in the middle somewhere when like one of my buddies was coming in. But typically, I only felt the freedom to do that because my character was obnoxious and loud. So I felt like if anything, I could just pay it off as yeah, that was just me in character. But they were really nice about it. Um, Honestly, you want to know the funniest thing about that shoot?
I would like to,
Um,
yes.
the name of the store I work at is called Burger Bucket, but in the audition it was called Burger Barn. So I had engraved in my head the line "Welcome to Burger Barn," and I literally it was like Joey from Friends moment. I said that line wrong like 5 to maybe 10 times, and it was hilarious because they would stop and go, "It's Burger Bucket." I'm like, "Fuck, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'll do it again. Welcome to Burger Barn," and they're like, "Rob," I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, I said it. I didn't even realize I was saying it wrong. It was that bad. So it was really funny. It felt like a movie moment within a movie moment. So it was really funny.
It's funny, but also in that moment, I would be terrified. Like, how can I would just be beating myself up. Like, seriously, it's a word. Get it right. I have a very healthy relationship with myself. So there you go.
Well, that's the embarrassing thing. Like the lead on the show, Adrienne C. Moore, is like who I was doing that scene with. She would like repeat the word back with me to make sure I like just say it like 10 times over. I'm like, this is so bad. This is so bad. But we got through it, so it's fine.
And it's
And
a
at
good
least,
story.
and it's a good story, exactly. So I had fun with it. It was a net positive experience for sure.
Are you worried that the scene's going to get cut because you kept saying barn? That was the
Thankfully,
joke.
I did see the scene, and I did not get cut, but that was a fear. So we're good.
I always wonder about that, like if you book this role and it's such a good scene and you're so excited and like, hey guys, watch me, I'm in this, and then they watch and it's, oh, where's my scene? I work really hard. I even generated real tears. I got full method with that. And it's, oh, I guess it didn't make the cut. I think it's very upsetting.
To me on another show. I had like this scene that I was really looking forward to because I thought it was cool. It wasn't anything like, you know, my performance was fantastic or I was, you know, like you said, like generating tears or anything like that. But there was this scene I was very much looking forward to because I felt like it added a little bit of depth to the character, and it was cut. And I was like, no, are you serious? And at the end, I kind of understood why they cut it for the story. But that was the moment I was like, yes, I'm indispensable. It is very easy to just kind of cut them out if it feels like it doesn't work for the story. So that was the case. And I moved on and I've learned from that.
It hurts though, right? Because I mean, they've auditioned for this. They chose you from all the other people they saw. You learned the lines. You did the costume. You showed up. You filmed it. Again, I don't envy these editors. What? There's a lot of stuff to go through. But from an actor perspective, I never get excited. I will not. I mean, I say that. I still kind of post sometimes if I book something. But I will never, for the most part, I will not post unless this is the final footage. It's made it. It is on somewhere. It is in a media of sorts, and I can share it now. Because I'm scared. I'm terrified. Like, cool, I booked it, but it's not there, so no one knows. So why did I share it?
Yeah, no, I know. That is a genuine fear. I think, yeah, like, it also depends on the level of role, too. Like, there is an actor role I have coming up that very easily probably could be cut. So I'm like, I'm not going to promote that until, like you said, you can see it and, you know, I can make sure that, okay, I am in this now and I can promote it, because there's nothing more embarrassing than promoting and then you just not being there. That actually happened once with a show that I thought I was in the premiere for. I was like, everyone watch tonight, and then everyone watched tonight, and by everyone I mean like my family, and and they were like, yeah, that you weren't in this episode, and I was like, I was supposed to be, and then it turns out they swapped like the first and second episode of this series, so that was like really shitty because I posted about it already. So little things like that. That's just the industry, I guess. It's volatile, subject to change whenever. So
it is. I mean, it is what it is. But okay. We're talking, but we have a question from one of our viewers, Alexandra. Lost with the C. I know, there's a question. It's very exciting. What? These lives, anything can happen, am I right? All right, Rob, so not me, but Rob. What was your inspiration for the printer lie detector skit? She needs to know, happy face, sideways, tears coming out. So laughing sideways face. I felt the need to share the emoticon. For that, you know that TikTok you made with the lie detector? That was pretty funny. That was well done.
Yes, yeah. So the inspiration behind that?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, that one, yeah, so honestly how that started, I guess, was that I was like, what's a funny situation to put some silly people into? And I just thought of the lie detector. So the very first thing I knew was my foundation was a lie detector. And it started off with like two friends in an attic, and it being like one of them talking and then maybe one of them saying something about like, I don't know, either like that friend's sister or mom or dad, and there being like this awkward like confrontation, realizing from the lie detector that this person's lying about what they're saying. And I don't know, somehow it kind of evolved into like, well, what if we up the stakes? One of them's actually a criminal, or appears to be, and then I'm like, let's do this in a traditional setting, the cop setting. But I just thought, what's the funniest thing that could happen that a person could lie about? And then I guess it kind of turned into this lover, or not lover, but this guy's being questioned, acting like he's a big shot who's innocent, but he's secretly crushing on the guy who's, testing him across from him. And then it kind of just, once I found that idea, I just had to write. So that's kind of the inspiration. It started with the lie detector and then just upping the stakes of what they'd be lying about.
Raise the stakes. Yeah. It's all about the comedy. That's how you do it.
It's all about the comedy, man. That's all it is.
Got to make people laugh, all right? Give really the people what they want. It's brilliance,
Exactly.
according to Alexandra. I would agree. It was that was the one
Thank
that I'm
you.
like, I'm gonna actually watch this. I can't get sucked into TikTok. I refuse. So I post them. If people want to watch, enjoy. I share it everywhere because that's what I do. But if I get sucked in and I start watching, I know I'm not going to leave. So instead, I spend hours on Clubhouse. It's very healthy. So that's what it is.
Mm. Probably better. Still consuming, but you're probably learning. So
Oh, that's true.
why did the cosplayers take it? Yeah, I don't know. There seem to be a real interest in the enemies to lovers twist, I guess,
What
or
is that?
trope.
What's a
Which,
cosplayer? What am I not understanding?
so I
What?
think
What?
cosplay. Okay, well, after that video, I posted that video. There was a lot of interest in people using the sounds. You know, on TikTok, people can take a traditional sound and put it over top of their own video. A lot
Yeah.
of people put those into like these fan fiction characters of anime or whatever it is, and I guess they found characters that would fit really well into this scenario. So there's probably some sort of like uh, maybe two guys that were originally enemies who ended up becoming lovers. I did about the sketch as an enemies to lovers sketch, but it became very evidently clear from the comments that that's what it was, and it was really funny to me because I'm like, this seems a lot smarter than it was intended to be. But people just took that storyline and then threw it into different characters that I guess they admired or had written stories about, and there seemed to be a large community that resonated with that.
That is so cool. Oh my God, you inspired art. You are an
Are
artist,
we
my
delayed
friend.
here?
Whoa. Oh, we are. You'll get a compliment shortly. Boom. Maybe? Can you not hear me anymore? I did say a compliment.
I can hear you
Darn
now.
ins. Okay. I said you are an artist and I complimented your artistry. And that's, I think, where we left off. The
Well, thank
delay
you.
makes it
Yeah,
quite challenging. Okay.
I don't know what else to do here.
I don't know. This delay, and then the problem is I want to fill the silence.
Okay,
Ooh, a
you
thumb.
seem good to me. So people watching can like hate the lag, and we'll just deal with it. If
We're
even
gonna
if
we're
it's
gonna keep
us
trying.
talking, I mean, we'll keep trying.
Okay. Okay, so there's a little delay. There's a battery about to die, but we're gonna figure this out, guys. Oh, okay. Oh yes. Yes. Oh, thank you, Alexandra. That's great. We have to plug our clubhouse for Toronto Actors Hub. You should join, Robert. I call you Robert. Do you go by Rob? This is such an awkward forum to ask you that, but should I be calling you Rob?
No, it's not an awkward form to ask. And I actually always introduce myself as Robert. So Robert's my instinct, but a lot of my close friends call me Rob, and my family even calls me Robbie. I have no preference. So Robert is more than fine.
See, I didn't think we were close enough yet. I'm working towards it. And then it's funny because what if I introduced myself as Rob? And then I'm Rob, and then you're Rob, and then that's two Robs. It's very confusing. So I'm gonna keep you as Robert. I'm gonna be Robin. There we go. Happened. I don't know how much you heard of that because of the delay.
There
So
we
that
go.
that was
Okay.
fun.
So when can I call you Rob?
Ooh, I don't
Either
know.
works.
I've never actually. Well, I went by. Okay, that was I've gone by Robbo in high school, not by. But
Bravo?
that kind of carried through till university. That was an interesting one. Yeah, yeah, it was really weird. I've never actually told anyone that in an Instagram live. So let's hope that one no one watches this video. Joy, someone just said it one day. I'm like, okay, bravo, whatever. We're gonna say it. It has to be
What?
PG.
VPG?
No, it has to be the worst
What is that?
nickname you've ever been called.
Oh,
A nickname?
the worst nickname? I mean,
Parental
the one that
guidance?
my mom absolutely hated was Bob.
Oh, that's
I was called Bob throughout elementary school.
why?
Yeah. So
Oh,
I think a lot of people who like Robert's nickname is Bob, actually. Like that is very much a thing. But my mom hated people calling me Bob, and I didn't really mind it, but I'm glad it didn't carry out because it's just not the funnest name. I don't think, Bob.
Well, I mean,
So
you say that. I can't see Bob Saget being Robert Saget. It just doesn't work. But I also can't see you being Bob. So,
there you go. So
oh my God. Thanks, Alexandra. All right. I
thanks,
guess she's going to
Alex.
remember that one. All right. That's it's unfortunate that I felt the need to share that. It's okay. All right. Just gave myself a nickname on Instagram Live, bringing it back. Post.
Well, now you know. Now we all know. So
Knowledge is power. There you go.
done.
Oh God. So what are you working on now? Any new projects? Anything you want to promote? What are we feeling?
I mean, nothing I can really promote at the moment, but I can talk about what I have going on, which I'm excited about. I'm creating a television series with some friends, so that is very, very cool, and that's on the go right now. It's a new, it's like a comedy drama series, very much inspired by the HBO show called Entourage. So we've been in development for quite a few months now, and it's coming together finally. We're going to get to a point where we're going to be pitching it soon, so we're very excited about that. I think you probably spoke with Daniel Karp. I don't know if he actually was one of your guests.
He was on
point,
this. He absolutely was. He did not share this with me, and I will reach out and say, Daniel, what I said, maybe I didn't ask him if he had to promote something. Maybe that was on me as the host. I didn't ask that. So lesson learned. Oh dear God. That's fun. But yes, that's awesome. So Daniel, anyone else?
Well, that's actually a different project without Daniel, the TV series. What I'm doing with Daniel is a feature, which I've never ventured to write before, but he was very encouraging, and he wanted to work collaboratively on something, and we wanted to do an action comedy. So we're writing an action comedy feature right now, which is very cool, and I love working with him. He's very, very nice. He's very smart, and I feel like, our discussions are pretty productive. So that's another exciting thing going on.
That is really exciting. Now I'm wondering, oh my God, did he promote it? And did I forget that he promoted it? Have all my days been coming together? I don't remember my conversations. That is also a possibility. But that's so awesome. Wait, okay.
Yeah.
So you're the feature, and then you're pitching. Who do you pitch the series to? How does that work? That's drink the water. Hydrate.
Hydration is key. For the TV series, it's myself and two other guys. We're all working on it together, and one of our friends, he has a connection with a network in LA because he worked on a show filming there, and they've kind of been in talks about different ideas for shows. And so he's already pitched them once, and it didn't go through, but they're open to hearing from him again. So this time, and we're trying to be a lot more thorough, pretty much take everything he learned from that experience and make sure we implement it this time around. So, we're doing the full pitch package. We're going to put together a proof of concept, almost like a pilot video for them to look at to learn about the characters and that dynamic, learn about the writing, and also try to attach some people to the project. Ultimately, that's kind of our goal. We have a little connection in LA. It's more his, so I won't say it's I don't know them personally, but hopefully as a team we'll be fine to go out there and showcase this work and hopefully get some sort of feedback on it. Ideally, it becomes a TV series, but who knows? Yeah.
I can't imagine pitching something. I mean, in my head, everything needs to be a PowerPoint presentation. Is this like PowerPoint? In addition to the proof of concept video, watch this video. Here is our PowerPoint. That was the only way to present things in school. Is that how it is in adult life? I don't know.
Honestly, I think PowerPoints still are super fantastic for pitching. Kind of our approach is we have tiers of interest. And what that means is we try to give them as little work to do to engage and learn about our project. So the very first thing we're going to send them is like a trailer. So it's only 2 minutes of their time. They don't need to read. They just sit and watch. If they like the trailer, then hey, we have a full pitch package you can read. They read like the first, it's a 1-pager, then on to the rest of it. And then if they like that, we have a 10-minute proof of concept pilot, kind of like a teaser to what would have been the series. And they can watch that. And then if they like that, then we kind of are on to a discussion of, all right, well, what do you want to learn more about? What do you want to discuss? Where do you see this going? So it's kind of like that level of those steps. There's no PowerPoint involved at the moment, but maybe there will be if we do like a live presentation, you know?
Look, from all my experience pitching, I'm just saying you obviously need a PowerPoint because I clearly pitch all my ideas to LA.
It's true. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'll go back and be like, guys, scratch everything. Robyn says we need a PowerPoint. We'll just create one.
I'm sorry, who's Robyn? I don't. Who is this person? Have you not seen her?
Bravo. They're like, oh yes, of course, I know. Bravo.
Oh yes, of course, Bravo. Classic. Oh, that's so funny. I love how much work you're doing. It's amazing, right? So is the idea, and this is selfishly what I would do, is the idea to be in this series? Or are you just creating and seeing what happens? And have you completely frozen in a very serious face now? Ooh, you froze. Are you back? Oh,
so,
maybe?
Funny enough, each of the creators... Oh, sorry, can you hear me?
I did a thumbs up, but that might also be delayed.
Okay,
thumbs
gotcha.
up, I can hear you. Okay,
no,
cool.
Yeah, it's totally that. It's that all of the 3 creators were one of the, there's 3 of us and there's 4 leads. It's like this group of guys from Vancouver who up and go to LA on a whim to support their friend who's got this gig there, and then things kind of take off for all of them and they end up living there. So we all have a role in that. But funny enough, it kind of started off the same way as I told you about news. So it's my buddy Karn. He's like, I want a demo reel scene. Now not a drama one. I want a comedic one. And I want it to be around this, like similar to this vibe of the show Entourage. So I was like, okay, I'll watch a few episodes because I actually hadn't seen it up until that point. And then I wrote a scene. And then it was only like 4 pages. But he ended up showing it to another friend who is now our 3rd collaborator. And he's like, I want to make this bigger. Let's turn this into an actual project. So we ended up writing 4 pages up to 20 pages, down to 13 pages, just revision after revision. And what started as a demo reel scene kind of turned into a full-fledged TV series. So that's kind of how that developed.
That's amazing. Yeah. Oh, where do you see, question from Clement. Where do you see this being filmed? Ooh,
that's
are
really
you going to stay?
Question.
Support Canadians. Okay.
Well, that's the thing. We want to cast Canadians, and the series does take place in LA, but it's all about these Canadians that kind of move there, right? So we do want to have like a strong Canadian cast, and we're trying to connect. If we do get people that have some sort of, I don't know how to say it, like star status or whatever it is, we want them to be Canadians, you know. And we do have some
okay, I'll do your project. Okay, you don't have to ask me twice. Oh, you froze. Oh, well, I guess that happened. Okay, I won't joke anymore. I'll let you finish. I apologize. I've learned my lesson. Please come back. Oh dear. Well, I really wanted to know who was going to be the lead. Well, for everyone that's joining, Robert is frozen. In an interesting position, not terrible. He's actually been very with being frozen. Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he won't. Let's find out today. Oh, it looks like he sees something yonder, and he's just like, I need to grab maybe a gem. Let's hypothesize. If anyone wants to speculate as to what Robert's looking at in his frozen face, feel free to write. What if he doesn't come back? What if it's just me chatting for the rest of this time? I know I'm not the person you tuned in to see, so I apologize. I'm hoping he comes back. Okay, let's make up a backstory. He's gone! Oh, God! Robert, no! Well, for those of you just joining, we lost the guest. Such is the way of Instagram. I hope he tries to come back, but if not, I might end it early. That could be interesting. I'll give it a little time. I'll try and be patient. And I'll keep randomly chatting with myself. If anyone has anything they'd like to talk about, feel free to put it in the chat. Please don't leave me hanging because I don't even know what else to say. Although I will, you know what? I'm going to talk about Robert because he's not here. I got to commend the guy. He's making a lot of projects and he's making work for himself. And that's inspiring me. Should I be writing something? Maybe. But then I get distracted. Should it be a comedy? Should it be a drama? I don't know. I have a lot of questions. I probably would go for a comedy. That seems to be my go-to. But I don't know what people prefer. There's a lot of cool things out there. Oh, chocolate or vanilla? Clement, great question. Thank you for being here. I have trouble making those tough decisions, and those are the hard ones. Am I right? I think it depends on the day, but I tend to get a little combination of each. I can't really commit to one or the other. It is an issue. Oh my God. Okay. Thank you. Robert is coming back. I hope this could be interesting. If not, we can keep debating chocolate or vanilla. I mean, what is the chocolate in? If it's an ice cream, oh, we were debating chocolate or vanilla. That was where we left off. Oh God, Robert, why? Hello? Hello? Okay, thanks. Not really, Robert. It's been very upset. Oh, I made it very dramatic and I did a weird voice. I can kind of see you. There's a circle around your face. It's, I wonder how they chose that circle. You know what I miss? That really annoying, condescending wheel, the rainbow wheel that I think Apple still has. But if Instagram had that, that could be fun. Stare at a rainbow. I like rainbows. They're fun to look at. I don't know what my favorite color is on the rainbow, though. Again, really depends on my mood. But I hope Robert comes back. He's gone again. Oh, the drama with my Instagram lives. I want them to work. I don't even know where we left off. I need someone taking notes saying this is where we left off if Robert ever comes back. When last 10 minutes, we spoke about this, like a little recap. Ask Robert, worst case. Oh, that's it. That is a good question. You know what? I'd like to think that we're practicing for when he pitches his series, that if he's pitching it on Zoom, he'll be ready. So this is the worst case scenario. And then he'll have all these backups because he'll say, oh, I remember when I did a live with Robyn, how I kept freezing and all this stuff kept happening. And now I'm prepared. So this is what I do, guys. I help actors. Actors helping actors. That's what we do. So maybe that's the takeaway from today. We just, we learned that technology is a struggle. Oh. Thank you, Kev. Apparently I'm getting better at talking to myself, which is good because that's what I seem to be doing quite a lot these days. Let's try again. Here's hoping.
Okay.
That was a weird noise I make. I'm like, it was relief, but also happiness. And yes. Hi.
Okay. Do you want to know what happened? So I
kind of do. Yes, I do. Because it was painful.
You asked me to use my phone. So I'm using my phone, which is iPhone 6S. Can we take that in? It's a 6S. So it's a very old phone. So even as it was charging, like the live of the Instagram drained my battery faster than it could charge. So I now ran over and I'm using my sister's phone.
Oh my God.
And this is dead. And I don't know what's happened to it. So it's hopefully not the connection seems fine. It was literally just my phone dying. So now you know, and we should be fine. I apologize.
No, that's fine. I was just worried. I'm like, I hope he's okay. You had this very pensive look looking off in the distance. And then I was speculating for a bit what the look was. So yeah, watch that back. That was a fun 10 minutes of my life. But
that's awesome.
I'm glad you're back. I was worried. I'm like, do we end this? What do we do? But again, I'm also talking to myself because there's a delay in the comments. So
Which
some
you seem
people
to be getting
chimed
good
in,
at, according
you
to
know, but
Sarge KD.
that's true. But isn't that alarming? Because am I slowly losing my sanity more and more each day that I just feel comfortable talking to myself in this? Oh my God, this connection is so much better. Okay. For what I send to future window chat people, it will also say, please make sure your phone is not dying. That will be
Yeah,
another caveat that
that's
I didn't think
apparently
of.
like a key part of like there you need to have an iPhone that is willing to withstand.
Fully charged iPhone. Now we know. Oh, look
There you
at
go.
this. Are we doing this update here? Okay. Uh, oh, look at
Now we're good.
that.
Now I feel like I'm back into
We
my
are.
groove. There we go.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm
All
exhausted.
right,
I
sorry. Where were we?
was sweating a lot. I need That's what I was saying. I don't even know where we left off. I needed someone to recap because I was rambling for so long that I'm not. I think so. We were definitely talking about Vancouver and taking. Oh, this is what happened. That's what happened. You were talking about taking like really good big names from Canada, and I
Yeah.
said, "Okay, Robert, I'll do your project. Fine." And then it froze.
That's actually
It's
comedy in and of
so
itself. That's like that works better than me even answering. Just like, oh, and then freeze and cut out.
I'm like, wow, that was the ultimate rejection. You don't even want me. You're going to freeze and not come back.
Yeah, I do apologize, but we were talking about that, and I think I would love just having like a bunch of Canadians in this project. Like that would be our dream of it. But I don't know where it'd film to answer that guy's question. So it might be like a mix of here and in the States.
And I mean, do you just do it? How do you choose a location? Is it based on the certain area you want, or is it really just come down to budget?
I think it's a bit of both. Like, I mean, budget's probably the biggest element, but also if you have very specific scenes around these ideas, like for us, for example, being in LA, it's not just like it takes place there. It's the whole idea is about these guys learning about the Hollywood lifestyle, falling in love with LA and all of its qualms. And I think for that to be the case, I think there would definitely need to be a genuine vibe, feeling, and life of LA. So I wonder if filming there would kind of be necessary for much of it. But I don't know. The thing is, we haven't had those discussions yet because we're just the most important thing is that we develop a series that is good enough and interesting enough for it to come to fruition. And then if we are fortunate enough to have the conversation of where are we going to film, that's a whole different conversation on itself. So
That's true. I like to get ahead of everything. I rarely think positively, but in this, I have total faith in you. And then I just want you to be prepared, right? That's what I
yeah,
was saying. This happened. This whole blackout, you not being able to use Instagram happened in case you have to pitch on Zoom, and you'll know what to do. You'll have like an extra laptop, an extra cell phone. Everything will be ready. So
that's good.
you're welcome.
You're right. Everything's a learning. I'm constantly learning day to day. So thank you. You have made me better prepared for this pitch.
That's what I do. That's what I do. Oh God. All right. Is there anything else we should chat about? I don't know. How are you feeling? Because I'm like, we got you back, and this is the first time I can really hear you well without a delay. I'm like, I don't want to restart it, but I'm just like so grateful that I can talk to you more real time than waiting for a delay.
Yeah, I know. I feel that as well. What can we talk about? Why don't we bring up that cop sketch and you can talk about your influence behind that, and then we'll see what people think about it. And then if people like it, we'll do it.
Thank you. I love that idea. That is great. Okay. Here is my attempt at pitching this sketch. And I don't know if I sold it well at the time. Anyways, here's the new pitch. New Robyn, new pitch. So, sorry. Thank you. Canadian versus GA. General American, sorry. Anyways, the pitch is I am a physiotherapist working with Robert, who is a cop. And I am trying to help him solve crimes. But as the physio, originally I pitched it as I was just super unhelpful and giving the worst advice that it's like, why was I even there? And that was funny for me. And now I'm saying it, and I'm like, that's not funny anymore. Huh. This is why we have these lives.
Yeah, I think once you read it out loud or you read it with someone, you get like a better sense of what it sounds like as well, which I think really, really helps, especially for comedy, because I think like the rhythm, pacing, and everything, like the wordplay is really important. But it was a funny idea. It was pretty much like, you know how in movies and TV shows, there's always these really dramatic ways of going about solving a case. Well, Robyn pretty much found these really smart, very high level ways of going about, like figuring out if this guy was at this 7-Eleven, for example. Meanwhile, my character is the very straightforward. I mean, let's use we have the cameras. So it kind of goes back and forth between the very logical thing to do and then these really intellectual, out of the box thinking ways of finding, the criminal. So that was kind of the sketch, and I thought it was pretty funny. And it's just kind of the back and forth dynamic between these two. So that was
that
pitch.
Such a better pitch. How do you know how to pitch things? I have no idea how to do this. I'm like, I don't know. I was a physio. You were a cop. I wrote lines. Is it funny? That's how I sold it to get feedback. Like, no, this is actually what it was. This was actually a pretty decent sketch. And that, yeah, you summed it up really well. So thank you for teaching me how to pitch.
You're welcome.
You know what? You don't need the PowerPoint. You're fine. Go in to yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's even better. That's good. Now I have that extra confidence.
Oh my, but I don't know how you do. I don't know how you figure out how to verbalize a sketch. And I don't know why. In my head, I'm like, here are my ideas. I wrote it out. I don't know how to read the script, tell me what you think. Versus I don't know how to explain it as I'm typing out. I don't know. This is you, this is me. I think it's funny. That's really as far as I can.
I feel like, that is one way of putting it, and it's still accurate. I think the biggest thing, and I learned this from Second City actually, is like finding the tilt of a scene. Or in every sketch, there's a tilt. So like,
okay, I'm doing the conservatory program. I still can't pitch that. So I'm just saying, like.
True. I could, I don't know. It really just depends on whatever it is you find funny in it. And for me, that's what I found funny in it. I'm like, there's this very logical cop, and then there's this like, this woman who's like almost like a detective working every which way to find the most obscure ways of identifying this criminal. And then it's just back to this guy being like, well, we have a footprint, or we have, these very common ways of identifying who this person is. So that's the comedy for me. So yeah, I don't know.
As we're discussing this just makes me think of how similar that sketch is to my actual audition life. Of here is the basic way. This is all you have to do for an audition. Just say your one line. And I'm like, no, this line is so much more than one line. Okay, here's the backstory. We're going to use props. It's going to be a thing. And I'm like, oh, wait, I should have just said the one line.
That is the trickiest thing to talk about as an actor, because you can go both. Like, there's arguments for both sides of like, yeah, you have one line, so just go in and do it. But then you're like, but if everyone has that mentality, I got to do something to be different. They're going to have to cast someone to do something, and they won't need it to be interesting. So I can understand both sides, but that's a really funny analogy that you decided to draw between the sketch and your real audition life.
That explains my writing so much. When I'm going to look back and see how many other characters I wrote that are overthinkers, like that physio. So that's going to be a fun day for me. It's
also funny that I didn't even know why she was a physio. I mean, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought like that. A part of
here. Okay, this is why I thought there should be a physio consulting, because I see they randomly throw physio. No one knows what a physio does. I don't know why. But I was watching Frasier a couple days ago, and their housekeeper, they also make her a physiotherapist. And I'm like, in no world would I be a live-in housekeeper. That's like, that is not your job. Your job is not to do laundry as a physio. I'm like,
yeah.
So that's why I thought, okay, let's figure out what other roles I can put a physio in, because clearly no one knows how to cast them. And even when they do, even if it's in a physio clinic, the things they get them to do, I'm like, that is so not what we do. But there's just some entertainment in like taking a job that no one knows what they do.
Although I think it's more occupational therapist, and I don't know why. But anyways, taking that job and putting them in a scenario which they wouldn't be in normally. So it's, yeah.
That to me sounds like a really funny ongoing bit in like a series. Like, I don't know if you, like Friends, for example, which I assume you've seen, or like, are you a Friends fan at all?
I've watched it.
Okay, well, I think you'll understand the reference as
I
long as you get the
just so
characters.
it doesn't resonate with me. Maybe because I don't have
And
that many
that's
friends. I don't
and
know.
that's
Okay, I
fine.
apologize, everyone that loves this show. It's not for me. That being said,
Well,
I'm understanding the whole creeping into other places now as I look out my window constantly. I get that now. Didn't at the time, but yes, Friends, as you
sure.
were.
Yeah, so as I was saying, like there's an ongoing bit there where Chandler is the only character who we don't really know what he does. It's very similar to How I Met Your Mother. And everyone knows Barney works and he makes a really good living. They don't really know what the hell he does, right? So that's an ongoing bit. So it sounds like for your thing as well with the physiotherapist, it would be really funny if you had a series and then like every time you encountered someone doing something weird, like some really weird job, or you meet someone who seems very odd, they end up being like also a physiotherapist. And it's just like that's an ongoing joke that you're carrying through this series, and you're making a statement on how nobody really knows what the hell physiotherapists do. So I think that would definitely pay off pretty nicely in that kind of setting, you know?
I like that a lot. I'm not taking notes, but I'll watch this back to remember this discussion.
There you go. Now you have
That's
permanent
really
record.
the reason why I do. This is another reason why I do these. Okay, cool, sketch idea. But okay, no, wait. Do I have to put it on TikTok? Because honestly,
No, you don't have to put it on TikTok. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it works for TikTok. It works for longer form comedy, like a series. Like I think that's the kind of joke that makes sense if it's done multiple times in a row, or like reoccurring. That's what makes it funny, you know. Otherwise, on its own, people might just be kind of confused by it, if that makes sense. So
I
I
think
think,
that yeah,
yeah,
I think in my ongoing attempts to write sketch shows, in this sketch show, this will be the one character I give myself, and then I'll write it all for other people. But I will be the physio that comes in at random points throughout the show and just does odd jobs like that don't make sense. So I'm looking forward to writing this. I
there
might
you go.
cast you, but if I say I cast you, the screen might freeze. So I'm worried. Okay.
No, that wouldn't have. I'm
That was
kidding.
well done. That was well
Thank
done. I'm like,
you.
I know you're joking, but I almost believed it. I didn't see the circle. That's what gave you away. I'm like,
uh,
whoa, are you
that
an
would have been good.
actor? Are you?
You know, I dabble in the arts, so.
Oh my God. You're so I love how much you're doing though. You're just like, yeah, I guess that what are you up to? No, nothing much, just writing a bunch of stuff and whatever. You
Well,
know how it is.
it always sounds like a lot more than it is, if that makes sense. Like, you know that. It just feels like you're working on things, but they're always slow, and you're working like a few hours a week, and you're working on other people's schedules. So, you know, like it's never as crazy or as big as it sounds. Like for me, writing a feature was very daunting, that idea. But now that I'm doing it, doesn't feel that way. So that's why when you hear someone's writing a feature, it sounds like, holy crap, they're a real writer. Or like they must be freaking sitting down, you know, in the books, glasses on every day, writing this out. But it's not like that. At least that's not how we're writing. And it seems very productive. So it's you know, it feels good to think that you think I'm doing a lot, but I always feel like I'm looking for new things to get myself involved in, or new people to work with and collaborate with. So I feel like there's always kind of time that can be made for projects that you really want to prioritize, you know, and get done.
What
So,
I'm hearing is you didn't want to prioritize my TikTok sketch. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm
oh,
hearing.
listen, actually, from what I recall, I think you're supposed to send me your half so I can decide
No,
which
you were
direction.
totally supposed to send me yours. I'm fairly certain I was going to leave it to you and then match the background. Okay, so that's what I
Oh,
do. That's what I
I thought there
do.
was. Okay, okay. We should just go into a full-fledged argument on the
We're
middle of
doing
this.
it, guys. Okay, who's right, me or Robert? All right, it's the battle of the Robs. It's happening. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're just
I
gonna
don't
put
think
Rob, and we
anyone.
won't know who's who.
Bring it. Boxing ring. Please don't make me box. Oh, anyways, that got weird really quickly. So that's why
We'll get over it. I think we'll actually end up having to do that. That sounds like what it's gonna end to.
I think it will, but I don't think it's going to be on TikTok because I'm struggling. It's not.
I hear you. It's not for everyone, and I get that.
I'm still gonna try. Okay, I don't like to give up on anything. If I do, it's for a
Respect.
reason. But yeah, I mean, it's yes and no. Sometimes you got to know when to cut the cord, but it's just so hard because I just love everything, well, for the most part. But yes, you keep doing what you're doing. I don't know. Is there any story we should? Okay, wait. Can we say like a really fun success story that you've had? I like happy stories. Is there one story where you're like, when I think of acting and like a career high for you?
Yeah, okay. There is one story. I wouldn't consider it a career high or anything. But there's one story that felt like it definitely felt like a dream come true in a sense. It was actually for a Netflix series that I auditioned for, and it was the first Netflix thing I've ever done. And it was it was really cool because I was auditioning for this project, and I felt like I nailed the audition. Like I went in, did the thing, and I left, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty confident about that audition. Like I even told my agent, I'm like, this feels good, which is very rare to say about an audition. You might say like you think it went okay, or like you did a good job, but to walk out and feel like I feel good about what I put in there, and like I'm kind of thinking about it. I ended up finding out that I was on hold for it, and that was like 3 weeks after the fact. So I was very excited. Now you have to remember a key part of the story is that I got my wisdom teeth pulled out like a day before I found out that I was on hold for it. So when you have your wisdom teeth out, you're just kind of laying in bed and you are literally just resting. At least that's what I was doing. And so I was sleeping like 12 hours throughout the day. And every time I closed my eyes, I dreamt I got the part. So I kept waking up thinking I booked it and then realizing I didn't. So you can imagine how like shattered I was. It was like probably 2-3 days like that. I got a call. They didn't go with you. And I was like, oh shit. Like I really thought this was the one. So I didn't book it. And so again, another 2 days, I'm laying in bed feeling shit, like, I thought this was a cool recurring role in a Netflix series. They end up auditioning a week of people for the same role. I ended up helping a friend with an audition who was auditioning for the same role. And then the weekend after that week, they called and saying, okay, you actually booked it. They didn't find someone they really liked. And I was like, so I did get it after all? And that was the craziest story because I straight up found out I didn't get it. And then a week later, I guess they changed their minds, or I don't know what happened. They couldn't find someone that worked with the other cast. I don't know what it was, but that was by far one of the coolest stories because I'm like, you really don't know what's going to happen in this industry because I straight up didn't book it after being on hold. And then a week later found out I did. So that was one of the most exciting calls I've ever had.
I love that story so much. But now I'm also
Yeah.
thinking when I'm told I'm on hold and then they don't book me, in the back of my head, I'm going to think, but maybe I will.
Now that's the dangerous part. Now you're like, but it's still not over. Typically when you find out someone else booked it or it's filming, you're like, okay, it's done. But now you never really know.
That's nuts. Oh my God. I love that story. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
What's
really
your
cool.
story? What's your like success or fun story, or what do you have?
I mean, well, I mean, here's a fun story that I like to throw out because you never know who you're working with. I like to say yes to a lot of projects. Sometimes that gets me in trouble, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But there was a really nice group of people I worked at when they were doing their thesis film at Toronto Film School. And 3 years down the road, they're doing their independent, like their feature film. And so they just reached out to me and they're like, hey, we want you to voice the lead. It's a sci-fi film and it's essentially like their version of Siri. So they want me to voice the whole thing. And I'm like, and they just offered it to me because I'm like, oh my God, I don't even have to audition. So that's my favorite story because I'm like, they remembered me and they didn't hate me. So that was cool. But it's just my little non-union world.
That's really
so
nice,
that's
though.
what I live in. Okay.
No, I love that. I think that's why I love doing student projects because, like, yeah, of course you need to read the projects. You need to make sure it works for you or resonates with you because you can get yourself in trouble doing whatever. But there's, you're working with people that are passionate and driven and like they have fresh ideas. And like I literally did a student film, and I'm in the process of doing a student film this year. Like I started in January, and we have another shoot date coming up this weekend, or if not, it might be moved to the later this month. But these are, you know, young, passionate, creative people who will be going on to produce larger, bigger projects down the line and become potential collaborators. So that is a perfect example of how, in your case, like, you know, you work on this one thing, you forget about it, and then you come back and you potentially work on like a feature. And I can totally see you crushing that, like being like a Siri type voice. That is so funny. You know
I am very excited. Yeah. I
cool.
am. I know I don't really sell it. Again, I have to learn to pitch and sell myself better. But again, it's one of those things, right? You're just so grateful that to find those people that you work so well with, but also the fact that they remember you. And it's nice when it's like-minded individuals, right? Where I had a great experience on the set and I get to work with you again. Because I was so proud of them too. I don't know if you've seen student films and then they're doing their first feature, and I went on set and I was safe. It was during COVID, and I saw them filming and they were wrapping up, and I'm like, look at them go. I remember the one you did.
Honestly,
they're just doing so well. It's so cool.
One of the coolest stories or it wasn't even a story, it's just a cool moment, is one of the first short films I ever did. I was like grade 10, and I was working on set of this Humber College like thesis film. And I remember working with this producer, and he was a really nice guy. We hadn't talked to each other in years. Fast forward, like maybe like first, second year of uni, I'm working on this set as a dancer actually, and I see him walk by, and I'm like, Tyler. He looks at me, and he's like, holy shit, dude, you're like in this? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you made it. I'm like, you made it. Like you're working professionally. And it was such a cute moment because, you know, he thought I made it being on set here, and I'm seeing him being one of the producers of this movie. And like that, like it's just so cool that, you know, we started out working on this student film together while he was still in school. So you never know where people are going. And yeah, it is fun to be proud of those people for like moving on to bigger and better things like that. There's nothing cooler. So it's same with us. Like I'm sure all the people we're taking class with right now are going to go on to do some cool things, whether it's from on screen, behind the screen, whatever it might be. And those will be people who are like, yeah, we knew them when, you know, they were grinding in class, or, you know, we got to do scenes together. So it's really cute. I like it.
Yeah. So keep collaborating, everyone. And yeah, try, you know, do a student film. Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Some really cool things come from it too. Like you can't be a lead. I can't be a lead in a lot of projects. So when I can be a lead in a short film, hey, I'll take it. You know, you got to take on some cool roles and do some cool things you wouldn't otherwise do. So it gets you ready for being on set for those bigger projects and those bigger characters and whatnot. So that's why I really like them.
Clement's recommending that this is part of your series, these stories of.
Oh, I like that, Clement.
There you
That's
go.
a really cool idea.
It's a writing session like too. All right, I'll take a writer's credit as well, in addition to being in it. Dear God.
That's right.
That's fine. I'll allow maybe just what's below a writer? Is it just a writing credit? Is there a sub writer?
I don't know if it's below, but I mean, if you're not a screenwriter, there's like a story editor, or there's the creators, but I think that's probably a bigger thing. I don't know. I'm not well. I'm not.
Okay, I'll be screenwriter number 5. That's what I'll be. Number 5. I think
I
there'll
was gonna
be 4.
cast you in it, but if you want to be a screenwriter, we can work that out.
Yeah. I've heard that before. This is not the first time I've been led on, okay?
No, I mean, we're going to need a Siri character, so.
Yes, I voice anything. I love it. Does it get, I mean, maybe that could also get me in trouble. I should be selective. Anyways, we move on from there. But thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. All the technical difficulties that you pushed through today. So thank you for being here. I'm excited to see what happens with all your projects. Check out his TikToks. They're quite funny. And yeah, you keep doing you, being awesome.
Thank you so much, Robyn. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm probably going to buy a new phone soon. But it was really fun. I'm glad we got to chat, and I look forward to more of your window chats.
Thank you very much. All right, we have to do an awkward sign off. So think of the weirdest way you can end this. Oh, thanks. Oh, you're welcome.
Maybe we say bye as the what do you call it? Robo or Robo? Robo.
Oh,
right?
I think it was Rabo. Yes.
Okay,
Rabo.
the two
Rabo,
Rabos.
sign out. Okay. The two Rabo signing out. That got weird.
3, 2, 1. Bravo, sign out.
Rabo, sign out. What? Oh, God.
What? I think that was pretty good.
Ah.
In a terrible way. It was like a good terrible. Okay.
I meant
Bye,
it. Okay.
guys.